Well, not a very good weekend for your Tampa Bay Rays against the Baltimore Orioles.
A disgusting weekend for Rays baseball. Results wise, what can you do? Let's talk about it right now.
You are Locked On Rays, your daily Tampa Bay Rays podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello, my name is Kevin Weiss.
I'm Ulises Sambrano.
And we're the host of the Locked On Rays podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Thank you for making us your very first listen every day. Be sure to check out and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Locked On Rays. You can also follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Locked On Rays and email us anytime. We will have a mailbag episode or episodes coming up this week, lockedonrays@gmail.com, or you can message us directly on social media. Well, the Tampa Bay Rays lose 3 of 4 to the Baltimore Orioles from Thursday to Sunday. The Orioles, I think it's fair to say, look like the better, more complete, energized team. Ulises, what is your big takeaway, thoughts, or observation from the weekend that was?
I will first start with good things, which is shout outs to really awesome human beings. Austin, Ryan, Sydney, Robert, Jesse, and Raymond, all who we interacted on Friday when we went to the game. And they're awesome people, fans of the show. So that's really cool. Always good to get those vibes. And hey, guess what? Rays baseball, you guys are struggling with W's, and when we go to the game, we win. So there's that, Rays baseball.
So invite us to all the games, give us free tickets and free parking to all the games. I'm all about it. If you want to win, that's what you got to do. You got to invite myself and Ulises, which, speaking of that game we went to on Friday, I thought the giveaway was fantastic. Maybe you've had more giveaways and been part of more giveaways than I have, but that was, you have it right there on YouTube, a replica, a real life Wander Franco bat. That's got to be the best giveaway I've ever seen from the Rays standpoint. And there was much fanfare and excitement about that thing. It seemed like people were less invested in the game and more invested of when are we going to get the bats, and are there going to be enough bats for everybody, because they weren't going to give the bats out until after the conclusion of the game.
And they put that a little bit to rest that anxiety, because I think in the second or third inning, the in-game hosts were, hey, there's going to be enough bats for everybody. Good. Don't run us out in the seventh or eighth inning because, but the fact that they were their actual bats, it's pretty impressive. So I think this is the best giveaway that they've ever had. So I'm really happy that we were able to go to that game and get it. So that cheeriness aside, on Twitter, anti-social media, or as it's bound to be called, X.
That's right.
Awesome. So I X'd on Saturday after the game. I guess it's not going to be the verb instead of tweeted. And I said middle bullpen did their job. Fairbanks did not. If you think that this team does not need high leverage options, give me your rose-colored prescription. You know me. I'm about that cheekiness. I like that. Boy. I cannot understand Rays fans that are happy clapping like seals in anything. In politics, I hate it. I detest it. In sports, same thing. I don't understand clapping like seals. It's okay to look at numbers and say, this is not working. This is not okay. It's okay to try to see if there's a better way. I know we all love Pete Fairbanks. The demeanor, his in-game and post-game conferences are always really fun. He's this very smart dude. Very likable.
Intro coming out
Yes.
at the Trop is very well done and very just very well done by the in-game media folks.
100%. I love that. They should do more of that stuff. So yeah, all of that is perfect. So I got a lot of problems there with that tweet because people are like, "Oh, you're ridiculous." He did his job because it's all exit velo, or there's nobody better than Pete Fairbanks and all this stuff. Like, yeah, you can't really get the bullpen. Okay, so you know what? I don't want to do this, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Out of all relievers with 20 innings or more, Pete Fairbanks ranks. By the way, this show is based on numbers. We never say something without evidence. And that's the way that I like that we operate the show. If we're going to have a take, we try to have the evidence right there, at least at the moment. Anyway, I'll go back. Out of all relievers with 20 innings or more, Pete Fairbanks ranks 75th in WAR, in F-WAR at 0.5, 95th in K per 9. That's worse than Jimmy Garcia. 99th in walks per 9. That's worse than Trevor Richards. You might remember him as the Silver Fox, once a Ray. 51st in FIP at 3.05, which is worse than Jeff Hoffman. Who is Jeff Hoffman? A dude that plays for the Philadelphia Phillies that nobody knows about. Okay, cool. He is 77th in left on base percentage. That's worse than X-Ray Ian Gibaut. If you don't remember who Ian Gibaut is, well, that's the problem. 227th in innings pitched, which is worse than Jalen Beeks. I love Fairbanks. I love his stuff. I don't think that is a crime to say that there are pitchers out there that are doing better than Pete Fairbanks. It should not be illegal to say so, especially when you can read off these numbers that are true. So that just gets me heated when people just accept the truth without just looking at the numbers. Look at the numbers. Pete Fairbanks is not who you think he is this season. That's it.
That's a fair point. We have more to discuss, and I want to touch on that for a little bit longer. But first, we have to tell you this. Do you want the chance to win more money with less picks? Of course you do. Well, you need to head over to Sleeper, where you can win up to 100 times your money on just 2 or more fantasy baseball picks. On Sleeper, you can swing for the fences with up to 100 times payouts. All you have to do is choose 2 or more players that you like and select more or less on their stat categories, such as home runs, strikeouts, hits, triples, stolen bases, and more. So get your picks right and you could win BIG big. So use promo code LOCKEDON, LOCKEDON, and you'll get up to a $100 match on your first deposit. Terms and conditions apply. Be sure to see Sleeper's terms of use for details. Currently operational in over 30 states. So check out Sleeper today. Speaking on Pete Fairbanks, do you put any, I don't want to say blame on the Rays or give him a reprieve for pitching 3 days in a row? He pitched through 15 pitches one day, 19 pitches the next day, and 21 pitches the day after that against the Orioles.
I'm sure it has to do something for him going 3 times in a row for the first time in the season. And I'm sure that that must have been tough for his body. I don't think that that's an error on Cash and Company or on him for his performance. It's just, I can't. Relievers should be able to go 3 times in a row. They should. I mean, what? Why are we living in this world now that that is sacrilegious to go 3 times in a row?
It'd be one thing if okay, that first game he throws 34 pitches.
Sure.
It was hovering around 15 to 20.
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, 15 pitches, I believe it's below average on what a pitcher does per inning. 15. So
Yeah.
maybe not for him, and then that's a different scenario. But yeah, I don't feel like it's sacrilegious for a reliever to go 3 times in a row. You know when they'll have to go 3 times in a row? In the playoffs. So yeah, they should be able to do that. So no, I don't think it's an error on Cash and company for putting him 3 times in a row. Now, could his performance have had a blip on it because of that? Yeah, sure, but I also don't understand now, that part of it. Like, oh man, 3 times in a row, that poor Fairbanks' arm. I don't understand that. And number two, I also don't understand when they're like, oh well, the ex Avila, he got blooped. Yeah, those losses count. Miss the bats. Are you not Pete Fairbanks and you're supposed to miss the bats? Like, I don't understand also that, like, well, he got BABIP'd. Sure, that sucks. It still counts, It still counts as a loss.
But do you still have more confidence in Pete Fairbanks than Jason Adam at this juncture?
Yeah, and that should say a lot, people.
Yeah,
I don't believe in this high leverage option in this bullpen. I really don't. And that's not even putting to attention the fact that Pete Fairbanks apparently can't pitch in the cold. By the way,
yeah. I'll be really interested to see what happens when October runs around and you may be pitching in Cleveland or New York or Boston or wherever.
All these Rays fans that are
Not
just
Boston,
clapping away. All these fans that are just clapping away. What do you expect to happen in October? I mean, I don't understand that philosophy of just clapping away and feeling like everything is fine and dandy. I think that's ridiculous.
But the Rays do have an ace in the hole, and that is Andrew Kittredge. Andrew Kittredge will save the day, folks. He'll do it.
By the way, he just got shellacked in his third appearance in Durham. So that's nice. And look, again, obviously that's cheeky because minor league rehabs stats do not matter at all. But yeah, that if you're counting on the savior to be a guy who's coming back from Tommy John, and or Colby White, a guy who's also coming back from Tommy John and has never pitched a single pitch in the major leagues. I mean, these fans that just can't stop doing this, they're wrong. They're wrong, and they don't want to admit that they're wrong. This bullpen needs to be better. And how can you not? And this is the thing that bothers me the most. Enter rant. We have a DNA as Rays fans that it's not only pitching and defense, but bullpens. We take pride in having excellent bullpens as Rays fans. These seal clapping Rays fans, do they not understand? Do they not have that history? Do they not see that we have had amazing bullpens, amazing high leverage options that you give them the ball and everything is going to be okay? We've had that in the past. We do not have that this year. Zero. And it's not Pete Fairbanks. It's not Jason Adam. And it's not going to be Kitty. It's not. You need help. And again, awesome for the Rays front office to go get Jake Diekman. He's done great. Robert Stevenson, so far okay, but those are not your high leverage options. There's no Nick Anderson. And by the way, if you tell me, well, Nick Anderson was 1 in a million, no, you got it for Jesus Sanchez. Okay. Yeah. Who's Jesus Sanchez right now? There is not one Nick Anderson out there that nobody knows about. I find that very difficult to believe when I just rattled off all those rankings of Pete Fairbanks and none of those are in the top 50.
It was an unfortunate weekend for sure between the news of Taylor Walls and Francisco Mejia heading to the injured list. I don't even know what the Rays want to do at this point. I mean, do you just hold the fort? The idea of, oh, now we got to go all for broke for Shohei Ohtani. That's definitely not happening. It wasn't happening beforehand, but I would not be surprised if the trade deadline passes and Rays fans will be very uninspired and unimpressed with the additions. Think small potatoes, if you will. But yeah, it was Saturday. you have the Orioles getting a 5-0 lead off of Shane McClanahan. Sunday, again, an early deficit, thankfully, or in a good vibe sense, the Rays were able to get back. Yandy Diaz hitting a home run with a runner on base. Hey, making progress there. And then just over the last couple of days, I guess Ryan O'Hearn is the Drew Waters of the Royals against the Rays. It's just really, really crazy. So yeah, not good in the least. The Rays have an off day, which is much needed for sure before facing the Miami Marlins, and then they'll have another off day before facing the Houston Astros. So anything else from this series that you want to touch on? Just not feeling good after going 1-3 against the Orioles. And the Orioles, based on the way they played Thursday to Sunday, I wouldn't be surprised if they were in the World Series in 2023.
And we put it on YouTube below. I mean, they are 3-6 versus Baltimore this year. Not good. The record is now less than 20 games over 500, which is a shame. And they're now 2 games back in the AL East, and they're 4-14 in July.
And I heard that isn't that the worst stretch ever?
I mean, this for me as a Rays fan for now decades, I cannot remember a Rays team playing this badly, unless they're wearing like the green vests, jerseys. Like, this is bad baseball, and I think if the trend keeps going for this month, this would be the worst month for the whole Rays franchise, which is like from 2008. Not the Devil Rays days, but this would be like the worst month ever for Rays baseball, not Devil Rays baseball, for Rays baseball.
Yeah. No, it was unfortunate. I mean, when the Rays were, at least on Sunday, when they were down 5-4, it's like, well, you got to face that Orioles bullpen, not really, or it was 4-3 rather. And then Jason Adam allows that extra run. It's like, now there's really no shot to win this. Might as well go home, pack it up. Let's leave early.
Let's
really enjoy that.
Kevin. So wait, as a fan of a team that's going to be facing a good bullpen, you already knew that it was over, right?
I said this
on
nice. Friday when we were at the game, and I said it on, I think, Thursday, that when you're facing the Orioles, you better get your runs in between innings 1 through 7, maybe innings 1 through 6, because you're not doing anything, I don't think, against Cano. You're definitely not doing anything against Felix Bautista.
Do you think that other teams, fandoms, feel that way about the Rays this year, about the Rays bullpen? Oh, we gotta score off Shane McClanahan and Taj Bradley and Glass now, because there's no way we're gonna get through Poche, Diekman, Stevenson, and Fairbanks and Adam. Yeah. Oh no, they are just they're a steel strap.
I mean, based on how this weekend goes, an opposition like the Orioles, maybe not the Royals or the Athletics or a crap team, their mindset might be, we can score innings 1 through 9. We can score whenever. We can score whether your name's Shane McClanahan or Jason Adam or Colin Poche or Taj Bradley. It doesn't matter. We'll find a way to get runs in.
Yeah.
So, yeah. All right. Ending things on a positive note, just want to give a shout out to Tampa's own Fred McGriff, officially joining and being inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame. A long time coming. After 19 seasons in the bigs, he had to wait 10 years on the ballot and then another 4 years to finally get that enshrinement by the 16-member Contemporary Era Committee. So big shout out to Fred McGriff, who grew up in the Carver City area, played at West Tampa Little League. Jefferson High School, was actually cut from his high school team from Pop Cuesta as I think a sophomore. Kind of reminds me of Michael Jordan getting cut from his high school team, or Mark Burley or Earl Horstreiser, whichever it may be. But Fred McGriff, again, look at his numbers, really soak in the career and all the memories and moments that he put forth. 493 homers, 1,550 RBIs. He hit 30 or more homers 10 times. He was the first to do so for 5 different teams. That is not easy to do. again,
No.
we sometimes poo-poo on guys who play in a lot of different uniforms. It's very cool to see one guy play in one uniform for their entire career, but the amount of travel and getting acclimated to new coaches and new clubhouses and new cities and the family tie-ins, he's Mr. Consistent no matter which uniform, which city, which part of the country he's in. There's something to be said for that. And you mentioned it, Ulises, often is guys don't get a bump for the character clause. It's only used in a negative fashion, but it's hard for me to find anybody to say a negative thing or a negative word about Fred McGriff. To me, he seems like a Mr. just goes about doing his business and an all around good guy in an era where there were a lot of poopy people in the league at that point, and a lot of guys shooting up one thing or the other. So there was never a question about him either. And I'm really curious to know or see how things may have changed if he had hit 7 more home runs, if he got to 500. I just wonder if he would have had to wait as long as he did to get enshrined.
No, the answer is definitely a resounding no. He would not have. We all in baseball enjoy round numbers. 500 is definitely one that will get you in. It should get you in automatically. Gary Sheffield is looking at us with a mean look as I say that, because he definitely did that. But it was very cool to see Fred get that, and as he's going on stage, it was very cool. There was they all stand up, and he goes up there, he shakes Griffey's hand, and then benches because he's right there, and then another guy, and then another guy, and he just starts handshaking everybody. He was so happy, he was so excited, he didn't want to leave anybody else behind. It was
when you wait
cool
14
moment.
years, you really want to savor and enjoy that moment. That's your time to shine. I think he had a 19-minute speech somewhere around there. So that was big. That was huge. So yeah. And what's amazing too is 19 years in the bigs, his average season was 32 homers, 102 RBIs, 284 batting average, 886 OPS, 134 OPS plus.
That's unreal, man. Tell me that you wouldn't like to have that in the middle of your lineup anytime, any day, any year. 100%. No, he was fantastic, and Tampa product that should give us a little bit of a smile on our face. And cool thing, he didn't choose to have any particular hat of a team. So that's on his plaque. So that's pretty cool, because he recognizes that he had enough time in a lot of different places. And I think not a lot of people are going to recognize what you said a few minutes back, which is it's very difficult to just pack up your bags and then perform at the level that you're expected to time and time and time again. How many teams did you mention? 5?
Well, he played for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He played for 6 teams, but what he did was he hit 30 or more homers for 5 different teams. So played for 6 teams total.
So 6 teams, like that's not an easy thing to do, to just like pack your bags. And in 19 years, so what, like an average of 3.2 years in each city. It's very, very difficult, and he was able to do that. I think it was a long time coming for him, and that's awesome.
Question, not to be controversial here, but do you think in the general fan's eye, if it means less that Fred McGriff was inducted or elected by the contemporary era committee, say that 5 times fast, as compared to the BBWAA ballot?
You mean like the Hall of Famers themselves, or like baseball fans?
Both, I guess.
I think for Hall of Famers, they don't care.
Okay.
A Hall of Famer is a Hall of Famer for them. They got there. They know how difficult it is. So I don't think that, Johnny Bench isn't looking at him like, oh, well, you didn't really get, no, I don't think so. Fans like to create
like
their
there's
own
almost
narrative.
an asterisk or a a black mark, if you will. Not as like a
Yeah.
negative thing, but it's not the same. It's literally
Like,
not the same as being elected by the writers.
yeah, they didn't Harold Baines also get in that way, and
Correct.
he always gets told, oh, Harold Baines made it. It's like, yeah, fans like to do that, but you know what? Who doesn't care at all? Fred
Yeah.
McGriff, he's in, baby. He's in.
That's true. He is in. He is in. So Hall of Famer, 5-time All-Star, 3-time Silver Slugger, 1995 World Series, and a All-Star MVP as well. Quick trivia question for you. We mentioned
Okay.
it that Fred McGriff played for 6 teams in his career. Can you rattle off those 6 franchises?
Okay. Devil Rays,
Yes.
Dodgers,
Yes.
Braves,
Yes.
Montreal.
No.
Oh, sorry, Toronto.
Toronto, correct.
I have left. I've got 2 left.
Yes.
There's like a Midwest team there. Chicago one. Cubbies.
Correct.
Okay. One more, baby. One more.
Devil Rays, Braves, Blue Jays, X, Cubs, Dodgers.
Godly.
Oh, this is sneaky.
It's a sneaky one.
He was actually an all-star for this team.
How many years did he play for them?
2. 1991 and 1992.
So
The
when
years
I
we were
was born. Yeah. No. Strike 3.
Okay. San Diego, the Padres. Yeah.
Okay. Sneaky. That is a sneaky one.
Yes. He played for, by the way, the Devil Rays, the Braves, and the Blue Jays 5 years apiece. And then the Padres 3 years, Chicago 2 years, and 1 season with the Dodgers where he he played 86 games, of course. He wasn't going to hit 30 or more homers with the Dodgers in 80 or 6 games. Not at that point. But again, shout out to him. He is part of a long list and a long line of great players from the Tampa Bay area, and actually just in the Tampa area. That West Tampa area has produced a lot of amazing players. So,
by the way, now that you have got yourself your own Wander Franco bat, people are just asking, when will Kevin put the bat on his backdrop? I can see the comments fluttering.
Yes, we are working on it. Gonna have to try to have some sort of contraption to maybe hang it up over the cork board. That's probably the idea. Some sort of, I don't even know what it's called, but something where I can place it evenly horizontally and have it sitting there, which, if you notice the cork board behind me, it's still a little sparse there. So if you want to send Rays gear, memorabilia, what have yous, 5335 A Street, Zephyr Hills, Florida, 33542. Attention, Kevin Weiss. That is very, very important. So anything that you may have that you think would be a good add-on to the cork board, or even I'd maybe be willing to install it into the wall back there, like I'm going to do with the bat. You have the address right there. So, and we'll give you a shout out on the show.
Yeah, of course.
So there is that. But yeah, no, that was an awesome giveaway. I'm not sure how much. It couldn't have been cheap for the Rays to produce that giveaway, but Rays marketing team, promotions team, more. I thought
Dex Imaging would have bought this.
Oh,
right?
Yeah, they probably, because there's Dex Imaging. Who knows, that the CEO of Dex Imaging may be the owner of the Rays at some point. You never know. That could happen. Yeah. But no, you need more things like that. Just saying. So yes. Home run for the Rays on that end. In the meantime, hope you all have a wonderful day. Stay safe, and we will talk to you tomorrow.